explore the surprising truths behind India's struggling middle class and the debt trap therein. Saurabh Mukherjea discusses India's tax data, noting that only 2 crore out of 150 crore people pay significant income taxes. He explains how a small portion pays a large percentage of the income and GST taxes. Saurabh introduces himself as an author and founder who will discuss why India's middle class is struggling. Saurabh mentions his book about the decline of the Indian middle class in terms of financial stability. Saurabh highlights India's high household debt-to-income ratio compared to other countries. He explains that a significant portion of middle-class income is spent on loan payments. Mila is asked by the host about future business opportunities related to UPSC preparation. The host discusses how brands are promoting gender equality and its popularity among the public. The host highlights the success of female-led businesses and lower default rates among female entrepreneurs compared to males. Saurabh discusses potential higher earnings for women cricketers in India. He mentions the success of women cricketers and their increasing income compared to men. Saurabh transitions to discussing the changing India, noting the rise of women from small towns in cricket. He explains that university education is not yielding expected benefits for the middle class in India. Saurabh provides statistics on graduate unemployment and contrasts it with low unemployment rates among illiterate individuals. He concludes that the model of relying on university education for middle class benefits is no longer effective in India. The host discusses how hard work may not guarantee a great job due to data suggesting otherwise. He states that the image of graduation setting one's life is fading and people are losing passion for it. The host mentions how saving money was a key trait among middle class Indians, but now personal loans are increasing due to social media influence. He notes that a significant portion of personal loans is for holidays and events like Coldplay concerts, indicating changed spending habits. The host concludes by highlighting India's high household debt compared to other countries, emphasizing the impact of social media and financial products. Rajesh Amani discusses how 40% of middle-class Indians' income goes towards EMIs. Saurabh Mukherjea mentions that many households are juggling multiple loans, with a significant portion of their income going to loan payments. Mukherjea explains the cycle of debt among borrowers and how social media has affected people's aspirations. The host discusses how societal expectations have changed, with long working hours no longer seen as necessary for career advancement. The host explains how real wages have not increased much over the past decade, even as Nifty 50 companies' data shows a decline after inflation adjustments. The host elaborates that real wages have decreased by about 1/3 over 10 years due to rising cost of living at 89% annually. He mentions people's perception of a glamorous lifestyle on social media, contrasting it with their financial struggles in Mumbai traffic. The host shares an example where individuals are taking multiple personal loans each year, highlighting the ease of borrowing and potential debt accumulation. He explains how loan systems can't keep up with frequent borrowing patterns, leading to a cycle of increasing debt among individuals. Pandey earned 500,000 annually and took a 700 loan, which grew due to high interest rates. The CFO mentioned taking 30 personal loans with an annual income of 6 million rupees. The host discusses the complexity and pressure of dealing with economic changes. He discusses the impact of financial thresholds on lifestyle changes. He introduces the concept of a Hardnick treadmill, describing constant financial strain despite efforts to improve. Raj explains that the principles and pillars of life are broken, showing how hard work over 2 years revealed a significant issue. Saurabh discusses rebuilding societal constructs for future generations due to the collapse of middle-class foundations. Data is presented showing a decline in white-collar jobs from 2008 to 2020, with only 11% growth annually. The host discusses how the COVID-19 pandemic affected job creation. He discusses the increasing use of mobile payments and its impact on job requirements.
He notes the shift of jobs from developed countries to China due to factory automation.
Raj explains that between 1985 and 2005, the Western middle class was significantly transformed. He mentions experts who have written extensively on this topic in celebrated papers and books. A key paper was published in the Quarterly Journal of Economics in 2004 by 3 academics. Raj describes how low-skilled jobs like garbage cleaning are increasing, while high-skilled jobs like hedge fund trading are growing. He explains that middle-class jobs such as secretaries and factory foremen are being lost due to automation. Raj connects this phenomenon to the rise of figures like Brexit and Trump. blaming them for the decline in the Western middle class over 20-30 years. Saurabh discusses how data shows inequality in India, hollowing out the middle class could lead to severe consequences. Saurabh explains how social media influences teenagers' beliefs and behavior, leading to a fused relationship with their phones by the time of the pandemic. The free data led to a perception that whatever is seen on social media is real life, creating an aspiration for similar lifestyles and potentially leading to debt issues. Social media promoted uniform aspirations, yet influencers introduced financial trading. The guest suggested FAO and FNO trading as a way to earn options. Influencers and mobile trading apps enabled young people to engage in trading. SEBI data showed a significant number of middle-class Indians aged 30 to 40 traded securities.
The host concluded that trading did not lead to the expected glamorous lifestyle.
He links this to the decline of the middle class due to lack of alternative opportunities. Saurabh explains how people take loans for trading as a result of limited options. He highlights the unique challenges India faces with its large graduate population and social media-driven borrowing habits. Raj discusses the addiction to exams like UPSC and GE in India with very low success rates. Saurabh mentions meeting people who have been preparing for UPSC for over a decade, emphasizing the psychological impact of such exams. Raj concludes by comparing exam success to winning a lottery and suggests that these positions are crucial in people's lives. You celebrate those who achieve top positions in the JEE exam like IIT Bombay becoming a CEO. You encourage people to pursue IAS and IAS officer roles through media and cultural influence. Raj discusses how freeing people's time and energy could benefit the nation. He mentions that a significant part of life is spent on written exams during formative years. Raj suggests reusing this energy more effectively to unleash entrepreneurial talent and propel the country forward. Raj provides historical examples of technological advancements and their impact on employment, citing the invention of electricity and motor cars. He explains how jobs were lost but also created due to these technological changes, drawing parallels with current AI trends. The discussion shifts to employment rates, citing data from Azim Premji University showing only 7 out of 100 graduates find jobs. This statistic is further elaborated, emphasizing the low job prospects for recent graduates in white-collar roles. The host explains that only 2 to 3 out of 100 graduates secure white-collar jobs immediately after graduation. With 10 million people entering the labor force annually and only 25-30 lakh jobs created, 70% face unemployment or underemployment. Raj discusses luxury unemployment, where parents work while children wait for jobs. He concludes by giving an example of a village youth who trades in financial markets while still relying on family support. Bhaiya discusses unemployment among graduates, stating 70% cannot find work upon graduation. He mentions that even after many years, 40% of graduates face similar issues due to lack of job opportunities. He questions whether unemployment is temporary or permanent, citing data showing a consistent trend over years. Saurabh discusses the impact of AI and automation on white-collar jobs, suggesting it's not a temporary change. Raj explains how AI's complementarity effect will empower small companies globally. He predicts that Indian engineers and gig workers will play a significant role in practical AI implementation. Raj envisions millions of Indians working remotely on data labeling and bot training for global clients. He suggests that as people realize there are more tasks than jobs, a mindset shift towards entrepreneurship will occur in India. Raj concludes with data showing an increase of 1 million entrepreneurs annually in India. Saurabh reflects on the perception of businessmen as shady figures in his youth. Raj discusses adopting a mindset shift away from seeking external validation. He mentions the relevance of both local and global aspects in career decisions. Saurabh describes job outsourcing from British call centers to India between the mid-80s and 2015. He explains that by 2008, all those jobs had moved to India, leaving buildings empty in London suburbs. He discusses how unemployment in the USA increased rapidly over 20 years. He highlights the decline of state-provided services like healthcare and education in the UK and USA. He mentions that by 2006, most jobs in the US had already moved to China, leading to criticism of job loss.
Saurabh outlines two phases:
jobs leaving factories and then disappearing entirely. The speaker suggests India faces challenges similar to sub-Saharan Africa, but also sees potential in AI-driven job creation. Saurabh concludes that these smaller firms might not understand how to use AI effectively, relying on external services instead. He envisions this becoming a one-stop business model with significant potential. Saurabh describes the core of this business model involving content creation and management through AI. Data shows land costs in India are 40% lower than in Vietnam, with Maharashtra and Gujarat having higher industrial land prices. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a like and subscribe for